digital asset playbook where we create our playbook but don't necessarily follow their rule book. Today is July 17th, 2022. If we take a look at the market today, crypto market, we're sitting at 963 billion. Bitcoin in the number one position at 20,957, Ethereum at 1,353, and our XRP is sitting at 35 cents. So, today we're going to talk about do they know? Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? That is the question that everybody is looking to answer, and without any success, up until some recent news that's come to our attention. But at first, I want to talk about some world events that are going on really quickly. Dutch farmers form freedom convoys to protest government's strict environmental rules. Basically, this is the farmers protesting that the government and its green initiatives are trying to hinder the farmers from, I believe, using like a nitrogen, in turn creates carbon, and they, really affects the farmers and what they can do. But next we got, look, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigns after mutiny in his party. I mean, mutiny in his party. What are they all fighting about? What is the UK Prime Minister stepping down because people are fighting? What is it that he can't handle in his party that's caused him to just say, I've had enough, I'm leaving? Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi ordered back to Parliament after President rejects his resignation. So Mario Draghi decided that he wanted to call it quits. He's saying, hey, look, I've had enough for whatever reason. I want to resign. And the President of Italy steps in and says, hey, you can't? That seems awfully fishy. Take a look at this. Shinzo Abe, former Japanese Prime Minister, assassinated during a campaign speech. He was assassinated in public just a few days ago. Very interesting times we're living in. Here's another one. Sri Lanka is bankrupt, Prime Minister says. Sri Lanka is in a real deep state of affairs right now. There's some deep issues. There was articles the other day of the military holding the citizens away from the fuel. There's shortages. There's fuel shortages there. There's food shortages. I mean, things are not really well in Sri Lanka. And look, I brought these things to the attention because a lot of these things sometimes take headlines and they can distract us from certain things going on. But look, our heart goes out to everybody who's suffering right now, people resigning. We've come off of a hard 2 years of a pandemic, and look, we want to get the state of affairs back to normal, but at the same time, we see the distractions, and we got to make sure that they don't affect our daily decisions. So moving on here, this is the Ripple website, and I just want to talk about some of the things that have come to light here regarding Satoshi Nakamoto and the whole Bitcoin mystery surrounding who the inventor is. But just bear with me here. We're gonna get somewhere with this. Look, on the Ripple's website, the XRP ledger was launched in 2012 by 3 developers. David Schwartz in 2012. David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, and Arthur Brittle launched the XRP ledger with its native currency XRP. In September that year, along with Chris Larson, they founded the company that is known today as Ripple. Okay, so this is a lead up into where I'm going next with this. So we have David Schwartz. Now, David Schwartz, he's quite the character. In April 13th of 2021, he did something quite interesting. Now, David's been known to do things like this. I find it very interesting, just the timing of things. But check out this tweet. This is probably going to be my least popular tweet ever. But if you ever have life-changing amounts of cryptocurrency, please take some time to seriously consider selling some due to reduce selling some to reduce your risk and exposure. This is not any kind of prediction about what the market will do. Well, interestingly enough, if we take a look at the market during that time frame, okay, in 2021, it was in prosperity. It was it was at a high. Sorry, I don't know why that came up, but it was right here. It was sitting at a high, and then that's just roughly Mayish time, and then it dropped. You know, just like that. It just on a very drastic decline. You know, so going back to David's tweet, how did he know this? Is it fluke? Is it coincidental? I don't know. So then we have this post from Wheezy, and this is just the other day. And this is very, very interesting because for all this time since the beginning of when Bitcoin was revealed to the public, nobody's known anything about its creators. And then coincidentally, during these interesting times, this comes out and sheds some light onto maybe who is Bitcoin, and do they really know who it is? And by they, I mean maybe Homeland Security. Let's listen to this.
We looked at Bitcoin was the most prevalent at that point. We had seized quite a bit of it, millions of dollars worth, under the Silk Road investigation. So one of our agents who started looking at another online marketplace through the deep web, which is called Black Market Reloaded, they were sending weapons through packages and ordering them on the dark web. And he was really, really smart, forward-leaning agent. And he goes, I want to go interview Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're like, what? He said, yeah, I want to go interview this guy. And at the time, we're like, hey, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. So, you know, we had all this pushback from our headquarters. And we thought, hey, if an agent wants to go talk to him and we have some money, why don't we send him? Let's find out how this works. So as it came to be, the agents flew out to California, and they realized that he wasn't alone in creating this. There were 3 other people, and they sat down and met with them and talked to them to find out how this actually works and what the reason for it was.
That's Rana Saud, Assistant Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security. Well, shout out to Wheezy for posting this, where he got it from. It's just fantastic work. But going back to, so we know who Bitcoin is. We know who the creators are. And if we know who the creators are, then Bitcoin is not decentralized the way the SEC is proclaiming it to be. It, according to the Howey test and the rules that following the Howey test, if it's decentralized, then it could fall under not being a security. But they know who it is. And if they know who it is, based on the efforts of those people who created it and did it, and organization that put it together, it might be considered a security, yet given a designation of a non-security. Very, very interesting. Or are they hiding something? So then David, going back to David Schwartz, he tweets this out. It is incredible how thin and light the veil seems in this solid marble sculpture. Take a look at that sculpture. Very, very interesting tweet by David. Again, he's been known to do this from time to time. But is this in reference to that video, maybe Bitcoin coming out to the public and revealing that, hey, we know who this is? Very, very interesting. Look, and while all that's going on, the crypto market's hurting really, really bad. Terra Luna crashing. This is probably one of the beginning of the events that has started a downward trend in the crypto market. This is terrible. People who had bought into Terra are really hurting. There's a lot of money lost to the public over this, and the timing of it all just seems quite interesting. Then further, then this happens. Crypto lender Celsius files for bankruptcy amid plunging prices. Like, all of this happening at the same time. You know, we have world events going on. We have the the creator of the XRP token with, you know, wonderful tweets. The timing of them are impeccable. The revealing of Homeland Security knowing who Bitcoin is. The crypto markets crashing. And then David tweets. Again, just very, very interesting timing. Anyone know where I am? And it shows there, to the moon. He's quite the character, David. Is XRP going to the moon because everything is going to reveal itself? Will XRP take the number one spot? I believe so. Again, my personal opinion. But very, very interesting. So, how about this? In 2020, we all know that the SEC got sued, or the SEC, sued Ripple and two executives for calling, or for selling XRP crypto illegally, saying that XRP was supposed to be a security. Look, Bitcoin got a free pass, Ethereum got a free pass. Ripple got attacked. Ripple from day one was working with the governments, was working with agencies, was working under the laws to try to be regulated, to say, you know, and to do things right. And yet the SEC, who clearly knew, because Homeland Security knew, you got to imagine that the two agencies talk to each other, clearly knew that what Bitcoin was. They clearly knew what Bitcoin was. So how can you label one and give one a free pass, or sorry, I should say two a free pass, with Ethereum also getting a free pass, but Ripple not get the free pass? Very, very interesting. So we have this, and this further goes to what we're talking about. District judge calls out the SEC for hypocrisy in a Ripple lawsuit. So the lawsuit's not going very well for the SEC. Ripple's pretty much showing evidence day in and day out that they are working, they have been working with the laws. The SEC has been telling them that they're selling a security. Meanwhile, they're asking the SEC, what regulations do we fall under? And they get absolutely zero guidance. So let's take a look at this and what he has to say here. This is from Fox Business.
Bitcoin was thought of as an inflation hedge, and you all know that to the long term. In the last couple of years, the reality is a lot of overlap between traditional finance people got into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin suddenly has the same issues that if you have margin calls in traditional stocks, you have to sell what you have. So in the short term, it's become more correlated. But there's a whole nother world of cryptocurrencies where utility is happening. I mean, that is evidence. Like, my calls as an operator have only increased for financial services and enterprises to figure out how to use blockchain and crypto to enable their businesses and do better jobs for their businesses and become more productive. You've got JP Morgan, a Monetary Authority of Singapore, as well as the DBS, working on a way to tokenize wholesale lending for DeFi.
Right,
Citibank just introducing custody.
Before we go, though, John, crypto and Bitcoin were sold to a whole generation of investors as something that it turned out not to be. And currently, folks that are having their savings frozen in Voyager after the crypto lender filed for bankruptcy protection. And you have the Federal Reserve Chief, Lael Brainerd, saying that crypto regulation is needed on the industry before it comes a wider danger, and leave it up to regulators to be too late. But final word to you before we go.
That's a great point. I mean, the stuff that's happened is crypto 2.5, not Web 3.0. So it's the intermediaries that allow the enable on-ramp from traditional people, retail, into the crypto, that are centralized entities that's created this. The DeFi organizations inside of crypto actually provided the function very well. And even the worst downturns of June, you had these lending protocols painfully lose assets, but they all function in a code-enabled way and never went down or blocked withdrawals.
Check that out. That was well said. Couldn't say it better myself. There is a lot to take from that interview. It is true. Bitcoin has been manipulated, and it's manipulated the whole market. And then all of a sudden things crash. And now they're calling for regulations. But the problem is that the SEC is literally looking like a fool. How knowing all the information that they have, it makes you wonder. What is going on behind the scenes? Remember in the beginning when we talked about the three creators, one of them being Jed McCaleb? Well, he was, when he left the company, there was an outing. They had to give him, I believe it was about 9 billion XRP that he would eventually, probably some stipulation that he would have to sell them over time. He's down to the very last little bit. And if Jed didn't know something, why would he take this move? XRP Ledger co-creator and Stellar founder Jed McCaleb made it known in a Zoom call with CDC News reporters on Friday that he won't be selling his last 5 million XRP. He explained that the remaining tokens would be some form of security for his family. What does Jed know? Look, everything is interesting, and between lawsuits and events taken worldwide, remember that the World Economic Forum put this paper out in 2021. And look at what they got there. They got a list of cryptocurrencies that they are promoting. Algorand, Cardano, Celo, XRP, Solana, Stellar. What do they know? Is this the new financial system? Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. The World Bank, in their document regarding stablecoins, look at what they're calling XRP. Stablecoins refer to a class of digital currencies that are relatively stable in terms of their price. Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments, as many cryptocurrencies do. They also offer stability with respect to their parity against fiat currencies. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar Network's native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen XLM. That's from the World Bank. They're calling it what it is. They flat out tell you, hey, we are not a security. In fact, we are a stablecoin. Look, that leads us to this. No matter how you feel about what crypto is going to be at the top of the food chain, is it Bitcoin? Is it Ethereum? Look, at the bottom end of 34 cents and the top end at 36 cents that XRP is trading at right now is an absolute steal. Look, not financial advice, but I don't think it's Bitcoin. I don't think it ever was Bitcoin. I think there's a lot of things coming to the forefront that's showing that Bitcoin is not as decentralized as they say it is. Look, this is the digital asset playbook where we create the playbook, but we don't necessarily follow their rule book. Everybody, do your homework, do some research, get into the market. The times are crazy, and it's times like these where we absolutely need to protect ourselves from financial collapses, and this could literally be the moment in history that we will never, ever, ever get back, ever. So, do yourself a favor, look into this token, get some for yourselves. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but it could be a game changer. Till next time, we'll talk later.